Hello, everybody, and welcome to the, I'm not sure, I think maybe fifth, sixth game of this Rookie Rumble 2 tournament. So what we are looking at here tonight is, I believe, the first game of both Drake and Violina. They are in the Armos group of our Rookie Rumble. Rev Jake and Y Colin are also in that group. This is part of the group stage, so those four people will be um, playing one round against each, and then based on those results, that will lead to seeding of the bracket. So I'm going to turn it over to my co-commentator Nick, who is going to tell us a little bit about the flags now.
All right, hello everyone. We have a fun race in store for you tonight. We are running the Rookie Rumble flags, a brand new flag set that's been assembled just for this tournament. It is based off the very frequently run Consternation flag set. So it's going to be based on the first quest locations, and there's going to be shapes dungeons, so lots of randomness, lots of variability. And but we're gonna lighten up some of those flags for us. So, for instance, the enemy set is the vanilla enemy set. So you'll see three different sets headlined by Wizrobes, Darknuts, and Gorillas. As we see, Violina immediately walks into a sword cave, but it's the white one.
And with our flag set, that means that she will need between 4 and 6 hearts to pick up that sword. So that could come soon, could come far later. All depends how easy those hearts are to find.
Now, unlike base Consternation, it is not ±2 on these enemy sets. They will be their vanilla HP, which can be good and bad.
Like Violina found the first heart, which was under the Armos, so that is on the way to being able to pick up that white sword. And I forgot to introduce our tracker, OpnoPoint, who is also in the tournament along with Nick and I. And Opno will be updating the information with that very soon.
As Violina walks into level 8 over in the northeast corner.
Meanwhile, Drake is in level 5. I forgot to note where that was, but they're both going at these dungeons without a sword. Probably hoping to, pick up a free floor. Oh, and interesting. Violina found the wood sword cave, but said, hey, I know I could probably pick up that white sword, and is going instead with picking up a candle.
That is potentially a brilliant decision, but as we know, it could be 2 hearts now before she gets a sword. We'll see how readily those hearts come to her.
Luckily, we're early enough in the game that if it was the wrong choice, she could just, retry. And it was the right choice. We have a early white sword. Congratulations, Violina.
Wow, that is huge. Sword and candle in hand in under 3 minutes. White sword, no less.
That is an amazing start. And that's money. That means that you don't have to spend money on the candle and also don't have to spend your take any on the candle. So Violina is that much closer to picking up the magic sword.
As SpaceDrake takes a death in 5. Now, Violina knew that the white sword was out there somewhere on the overworld because one of the other adjustments to this flag set over Consternation is the white sword item is fixed as the white sword every single time, and usually that means you'll be able to find it either walking into a cave, burning a bush, or blowing something up, but occasionally it happens to put itself under a raft block or something like that, and you might not find it until later, if at all.
So both these runners are new to the Z1R community. Violina has been participating in the Triforce Triple Play recently and getting a lot of experience many nights during the week. Drake has not had a chance to participate in that way, but they're both good players, and we'll see how this turns out.
Yeah, especially to me, Drake's going to be kind of a big question mark. Now, Drake has some past experience with a different randomizer, that is Final Fantasy 1, and looking through his race time record there, he actually put in some impressive performances there. So we're going to see tonight if that translates at all over to Z1R.
Right now, it looks like both runners are just kind of scouring the map, trying to get a good idea of the layout of where the different levels are, basically so they can formulate a plan as to which dungeons they should try to dig. Looks like our medium secret is 25, which is a little smaller than usual, but not too bad.
Looks like the any key is the coast ladder item today.
That could be useful, but also it's certainly not always required. So it's very possible if the ladder is hard to find, doesn't show up till late game, people may not go back and pick that up.
But if you've seen me play, I like to require the any key by spending keys wildly inappropriately sometimes.
Well, unfortunately, you're not playing this one, so we won't get to see that. But we will get to see you on another night. So when's your next game scheduled?
I got my third one tomorrow. I'm just knocking them out real early, and so far 0-2, holding my record as the worst player in the tournament.
I have not had my first game yet. Mine is on Thursday, so I'll find out. Looks like Drake went back to start. It's still, of course, looking for that sword. We're at the same time, Violina took a death in the forest there. And Malkier noticed in chat that Drake skipped a cave, and that could be very unfortunate.
Well, he'll definitely be back in that direction because level 8 is up there. So.
And Violina found level 1.
And she's going to hop right back into that after pirouetting that door open. 0 keys, but that's not going to stop her. Now this, however, is going to stop her unless these guys will drop a key. We'll see if she is going to take them on. With a white sword, it'll make it a little bit easier, but she can only take 1 hit from these guys.
You know, these bunnies are really annoying when you only have 4 hearts, but luckily for her, this room is probably about the best you could hope for in terms of a room to fight these in.
And she is working them pretty nicely so far.
Yeah, it's just early in the game like this, you got to be patient.
Meanwhile, SpaceDrake makes it to Vanilla 1, but finds it full of very unfriendly Lionels.
I believe we've had an outreach program to try to tame the Lionels and make them more friendly, but to my knowledge, it has not worked out.
So the room does drop a map for Violina, but no keys, so she's going to have to come back here a little later. Probably as soon as possible, because as we know, there are 3 items to find in level 1.
Drake, while trying to find an Armos item there, takes another unfortunate death. Now, Violina, having the sword and having bombs, is able to open far more spots as she explores. So that's also an advantage here. Drake, yeah, only the top rows of those Armoses ever have the items, so it's not really advantageous to bump into the bottom rows at all.
Violina finds the any roads, and they're going to be a shortcut over to the west side of the map today, and one of them is onto one of our raft spots, so 1 less spot to potentially get blocked for our runners later on, assuming they find the any roads.
Yeah, I always get nervous when that happens. I go, is the randomizer just messing with me? You know, it's making me think I don't need the raft when I actually put the key thing in the other raft spot, but usually it's not how it works out. So,
Answer a question in chat. The heart shuffle is always on in this flag set, so it is a big change from the last Rookie Rumble where it was not. So our runners are going to have to dig a little harder in dungeons to find the items they might need. They're not just going to be hiding out in staircases anymore. They might be floor drops.
like Violina found level 3 and is now going to work through that. Although it looks like this one is going to require a key as well to make progress.
Or it is also a situation where she could set up a Kanana key, but she's not.
That is a very good point.
As she runs up to the key door, says, "Please let me in, please," but it's not going to happen. But she's going right back in because I think she realized that was something she could do. Let's see if she sets it up.
So do you want to explain to our viewers what a Kanana key is for those not familiar?
Oh, yeah. So Kananaki, as the second round with those Gurias and Keys does not go quite in Violina's favor, but the Kananaki works in a room where you have both a key door and a shutter door, and you have 0 keys. You might think, how can I get through a key door when I have 0 keys? Well, thanks to some fascinating aspects of the programming, if you kill the last enemy in a room, when you are standing next to the key door, as soon as that shutter door opens, it will actually momentarily open that. There we go. As she pulls off the Kananaki, it will let her right on through that key door as if she had a key. And she goes back through, pops it open, so that door will stay unlocked forever now.
And unfortunately, Drake met with those unfriendly Lionels again near first quest level 1.
Violina makes quick work of an Aquamentus with the white sword.
You know, I think I've come to the conclusion that Aquamentus is the easiest boss, followed up by the second easiest boss being the Rupee boss. I don't know what your opinions are on that.
Oh, I love Aquamentus. I will not 10 times out of 10 go out of my way to kill them, even if I don't have to. They're just so fun. As Violina finds a Triforce, hesitates for a second, says, "You know what? I like this. I'm going to pick this up." Now, the question is she going to pop back in to try and dig out some items? Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think at this stage you gotta. I mean, you still have the silvers, the bow to find. You know, probably lots, maybe the ladder. Level 3 is a pretty small dungeon. You gotta do it.
As that wall at the top there practically screams, bomb me," and sure enough, it opens right up. And she continues her trek northward. Meanwhile, SpaceDrake takes another unfortunate death, getting around the lake.
Yeah, lots of projectile enemies out today, that's for sure. And of course, you know, the arrows you can block with your shield, but those Lionel sword beams not blockable.
Ooh, and those Gurias do not want to give up that staircase item. Presumably staircase item, unless 3 is segmented.
Drake now has picked up his sword and tested it out to make sure it works. And now is gonna, I believe, go find some dungeons to stab.
But not before taking out some much-deserved revenge on some blue Lionels who just happen to be outside that cave. Takes a fairy fill and says, "Okay, let's get down to business."
So Drake, when he finds the wood sword cave, will be able to do the same thing Violina did, just in the opposite order. Pick up the candle as opposed to pick up the wood sword. Alright. Now we find the item, or is it the transport?
It is a transport. In this flag set, I don't know what it is, but 3 loves to segment, more often than not.
And I don't know if you saw there, but I am taking Drake with me to Vegas next week. He just gambled and won pretty big there.
Yeah, and he is pretty close to some blue ring money now as he hops into level 5.
Blue ring. Have we seen a shop with it yet? Well, even if we haven't, I mean, it's going to be somewhere between 230 and 250 rupees. So 218 is pretty close.
Yep. It could be a common item. It could be in whatever the rare shop is tonight. You cannot ever totally count on it until you find it.
Yeah, I think I had one race where it was one room from start, so the game was telling me, oh no, Violina got picked up by one of those hands and taken back to the start of the level.
That is rough. As Drake finds a three-headed... Oh! Was not able to bomb out of it. Decided to take it on and was not successful.
Yeah, that was a rude hand. Jess in chat is correct. All right, I think we're getting close back to that same room.
And here it is.
Come on.
Violina shooting a little bit more furiously this time around to make sure a hand does not grab her as she finds the actual item staircase and a power bracelet.
That is a nice early find because now she can incorporate those power bracelet checks with her general world checking as she walks around.
She spends her one and only key to continue to find another item.
And that was pretty smart, actually. She chose the path that would take her around that moat. Unfortunately, that room did not give us a free key, though.
And she is looking for a floor item here. Could be this room. But if it doesn't at least drop a key, then she's gonna have to find some other way in 3 or possibly come back later. A map proves the 2 segments we've known about. She pauses for a second, says, is there some other way around this? No, I'm gonna have to come back later.
Was that only one room she hasn't been in? Did I see that right?
There were a couple more, I think, in that segment she hadn't hit.
Okay. All right, so meanwhile, Drake is working his way through 5. The Koreas are not really cooperating.
Yeah, 5 works him over, but I think he's gonna keep on at it here. Spends his key to go a different route. This seed is not being very forthcoming with keys in multiple dungeons so far.
Yeah, these runners may have to spend that money on keys.
Or they're going to be really crossing their fingers for an early ladder, because that will get them an any key off the coast.
But when you need it, it never happens. All right, so Violina is back to searching the overworld.
Picks up a large secret coming in at 103. Decides to up in a save. Good call there, because there's plenty of door repairs she still needs to find, which could very quickly turn that jackpot into nothing.
SpaceDrake, unfortunately, just got kind of soft-locked in this room, unable to kill the enemy who was on the other side of a moat, and unfortunately did not have a ranged weapon, and was locked in with a shutter door.
Power bracelet immediately paying off with a bomb shop. Bombs coming in at a fairly minimal price of just 7. Violina says no for now, because she's almost fully stocked, but not too far from start, so our runners may make use of that today.
And Drake, unfortunately, looks like he reset without saving earlier, and now will need to, unfortunately, restart his progress pretty much from the beginning.
Yep, as he runs into the White Sword Cave, which is not going to work out well for him.
Meanwhile, Violina has found another Take Any Cave, is now up to 6 hearts.
She is not slowing down for anything here. She's staying in dungeons just as long as she needs to and getting right back out there in the overworld from some pretty good routing, incorporating those power bracelet checks. Chat letting us know she has been practicing fiercely. I feel like every race practice I've been in, she's been there and then some. So it is paying off in this. And I think some runners, when you get into these competitive races, you could get nervous, but it seems to only be fueling her performance tonight as she finds level 5 and decides to jump right in.
Looks like we're seeing that same room from before, but now from a different side. Oh, and Violina has saved, full hearts and has the sword beams to be able to kill the enemies from across the moat. And it's just 5 rupees, so it turned out wasn't really an important room anyway.
But it's one less she has to come back and check later.
And you can see here she's using another technique that you learn after some experience. You can hide in that right door, and the various projectiles cannot hit you. And she's probably thinking, okay, is this ladder blocked? I don't know.
Throws a bomb. It does not open. She's going to come back here, probably race back and test a few more spots.
This is one of those cases, if you had the map, you'd know, but right now you got to guess.
Meanwhile, SpaceDrake made it up to Vanilla 5, but did not manage to make it in.
Violina's found the staircase item in 5. It is a heart. Meanwhile, Drake has picked up a heart. I assume it was from the Armos and now has gone back to pick up the white sword again. Testing it again, it still works.
What did those blue levers ever do to deserve Drake's wrath? We'll never know.
I've actually gotten a complaint from the Environmental Commission that Drake has been killing way too many of them. It's actually impacting the ecosystem. Alright, Violina has looked around. I think the one thing she hasn't done is try to pop open the door to the left there.
She has managed to find a few keys, so that will at least give her one other option to explore, as she does make perhaps the more sensible choice to try and bomb her way up.
No, don't use that key. You could have pirouetted it.
Yep, she could have opened that with a pirouette, but it's been a little bit since she entered, she might not have remembered that there was a way to pirouette that from the right.
Yeah, as she was entering, I was kind of thinking, if it was me, I probably would have pirouetted all the directions right away, just so I didn't forget later. Oh, and unfortunately, all that took her to was old man talking about location of levels.
She finds the transport staircase and hops right in. Shoots her way to the top of the screen. There's that map, as we find an extra tall, extra pointy level 5.
I've heard that in a previous tournament someone called everything a cactus, but honestly, this to me looks like a cactus.
I think you're right on this one. Although I'm kind of also seeing a stumpy leg giraffe reaching out. as if trying to reach out for the items here in level 5.
That is elaborate. That is an elaborate imagination.
The
Oh, and there's the
Triforce
Triforce.
says, "Take me, take me." Violina says, "Not so fast. I got some items to find."
Drake is going back to the land of the Lionels. Those levers are being merciless.
Interestingly, Violina found a floor heart and did not want to venture into the room to pick it up. Takes the Triforce instead, and likely never going back.
I think Violina already got the dungeon item, Malkior. Alright, Violina is back in exploration mode. Now, unfortunately, had she been able to save that one key with Pirouette, she could have taken that back, I believe, to, was it level 1?
It was level 1, and I was just thinking that she really could have used a key to unlock a few items, because we found a lot of hearts so far, but not so much in terms of useful, practical, shooty items or crossy items.
Looks like she just picked up arrows. So when she finds the bow, she will be able to take out bunnies with ease.
I like that move. When you've got a lot of money, you don't immediately have anything else you want to do with it, and you see arrows, go ahead and spend them before a door repair takes it from you.
Yep, and if she sees a shop selling a key, I think that'd probably be appropriate to buy one of those as well. Meanwhile, Drake has found the Any Roads and is finding all the places he can move around. All right, we're burning some dead trees here. And looks like that just led to the same shop we just left before. That vendor seems to run around really fast. Drake
she's
is
thinking. She buys the key.
all right.
Now, is she going to beeline it for one? Or going to finish out exploring this corner first? There's only a couple things down here.
Now Drake could pirouette that key door as well, if he should be able to. Yes.
There's a blue ring shop over there, which unfortunately is on the opposite end of the map from where Drake is right now. But he also does not have the riches he once had. As Violina finds level 2 in the far southwest corner. Hops open a bomb door, and now has 3 routes to choose from.
And of course, 2 also being one of the smaller levels is going to be one that I suspect we will see her clear it until she's found both items.
And then potentially she'll either continue up through the Deadwoods up to Death Mountain, or maybe head back to level 1. That's potentially 5 items in a short span.
And Drake is now in level 3, which is, I think, where Violina found, I think it was, well, the power bracelet, obviously. So we'll see similar progress there.
Now she did, I think, leave one item behind, because she did not have enough keys. Now Drake is in a similar situation. I don't think he's going to find any extra keys lying around either. Is he going to try to Kanana key this? Nope.
I think Violina, by having multiple attempts, really thought it through and use the, I believe it was the bat as the final thing to kill.
These Triforces are popping up fairly early in our dungeon so far, leaving our runners to kind of leave them behind as they go hunt for items.
I did notice that Violina is definitely giving the Wall Masters more respect in this dungeon after the incident in the previous dungeon.
As you should. They can be very sneaky. Floor heart and 2 for Violina. She says, "Is there anything in this game other than hearts?"
Answer is maybe.
Looks like our higher numbered dungeons are going to hold most of our items tonight.
I'm going to say this to me looks like a windmill.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. A fairly small 2, which Violina is going to finish up here real quick before taking the Triforce. One more item to find on the floor somewhere.
Well, minimal reward, but minimal risk in that room. All right, not many rooms left. Ooh. Oh, that was perfect. That was a perfect bomb to take down that manhandla, and a perfect ladder as a reward.
Violina's key issues will be a thing of the past very soon, should she choose to head back to the coast.
With how proud Malchior is in chat here of Violina's playing, I think he's going to take us all out to Dairy Queen to celebrate.
Hey, I'm here for that. As Violina, unfortunately, is not able to make the run to pick up the Triforce, but that's just going to be a few extra seconds.
You don't even need the Triforce this early, to be honest. You can always come back and get it later. And to answer the questions in chat, yes, I believe Dairy Queen calls all other foods treats, so that is why Malchior has said treats are on him.
Now, if you are Violina, you're probably starting to think, I have only found a ladder, no bow, no silvers. I still have a lot of work to do here. So she is rushing through a little bit, trying to get back to this Triforce. Throws down a couple of smart bombs to clear out those Gorillas and make that task a little quicker, as she will make very short work of these ropes to pick up the Triforce. Where's she going to go next?
I mean, I'm thinking, based on where she is, she's going to go back to overworld exploration until she finds another level. I mean, if it was me in that area, I would be heading up into the graveyard.
Drake, not too far away, now in the Deadwoods. Let's see if he stumbles upon level 2 down in that far southwest corner. Wasn't too much of a trouble, and it does have a huge reward to offer, especially because he has no keys either, and a ladder would get him an any key.
Unfortunately, I do not think he has a candle. So he is not able to take advantage of a bunch of the burn bushes in this area.
Oh no. And this screen's going to be rough to get through. He's walking through it twice. Blue Lionel's on the way to level 2. Let's see if he can sneak past them. They love to bunch up in this little spot here, and oh!
That was
Cannot
two of them
sneak.
shooting at once. That was not fair.
Not at all.
Oh, we're getting a world wrap.
Oh, world wrap! Oh no, she pops back into the Lost Woods. Oh, I think she's gonna go try it again. Or maybe head up into the graveyard.
Well, no, this is part of the world wrap, right? She's wrapping around the woods. And then going to go down and then world wrap. All right, almost there.
All right. I think she's a little high up. Who is it? Up, she's.
Oh, that Zora made it easy by showing right there so she could stab him. You know, these races, you know, it seems like it's just as easy as just, you know, playing a regular
There
game.
goes. She grabs the any key with the world wrap ladder clip. Amazing play there.
Very nice. I was going to say, yeah, things you do, you know, in a normal game when no one's watching suddenly seem a lot more difficult when you got people watching. The pressure really adds up. All right, and she is, this is really smart routing. She knows she wasn't here yet and is now bombing along the coast here.
She is making very quick work of this overworld, 35 minutes in, and she has seen a huge part of it. Though neither of our runners has really gotten up into Death Mountain all that much yet, so...
I think if I was her, I'd probably go maybe back to level 1 now that you got the any key and get those remaining items.
Oh, for sure.
Taking a smart save.
Drake grabs a candle.
Right, what will level 1 hold?
Oh, immediately, it's going to be an item staircase with a tutor in it.
All right, so that unlocks 1 extra overworld spot.
That's going to be great too for overworld navigation, as she has picked up a few Triforces. It's going to give her a way to get around very quickly.
Chat getting pretty excited about that recorder. This is some excellent combat against the Dark Nuts here. And Commentator's Curse, as soon as I said that, she got bopped by 1.
But they give her a couple of hearts as a reward for surviving, and a key, which, of course, now the keys are going to start dropping plentifully now that she has the any key.
That's how it works. And when you have 8 bombs, they just give you bombs all day long. All right, so Drake is now working his way through level 2. Which, as we know, is where the ladder is, which will be, again, a very important item to have.
Bunnies do not slow Violina down as she keeps on trekking through this, but she finds a much harder version of the rooms she's already fought, full of dark nuts, including blue ones, some bunnies, and the dreaded 4-way turret.
It's really the turrets that are the problem here, in that trying to dodge those while dodging... This is, what, 3 patterns of enemies at once? That's not an easy feat.
Oh, and unfortunately, it looked like the turret was going to hit her for half a heart, but the bunny says, "No, you are mine." Sends her back to the beginning, but she's going to pop right back in.
I imagine she's going to go clear out every other room first before coming back to that one.
I sure hope so. I don't want to see that room again if I don't have to. Meanwhile, Drake did make it down to level 2. Is going to hopefully very quickly be rewarded with a heart and a ladder. But we'll see if his lack of keys is going to impede his progress. There's a Triforce. Drake says, gimme, I want to be on the board.
Violina is now saying, another heart? Really?
Well, it's just the way C's way of encouraging her to consider the magical sword.
And the magic boomerang being the final item in level 1. So we've picked up everything out of level 1 now.
So a mixed bunch out of level 1. I always like finding the recorder just because it is great for navigation.
Certainly, and once I have the recorder, it changes how I think about a level, because I say, you know, there might be some good items in here, but if I can travel back to here at will, you know, that means just for me get the Triforce and leave, can come back whenever I want to.
My heart skipped a beat when I saw that Goma materialize, but the Triforce was fortunately all open on the floor as Violina has full cleared all 3 items and a Triforce and continues on the overworld.
Were you using, was that a Star Trek The Next Generation reference there, Nick?
If I make them casually in conversation, I don't even notice anymore.
You said that the Goma had materialized.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
All right, now I think Violina's probably looking at her map and saying, all right, what's left to look at? And she really likes the waterfall. It's a pretty beautiful waterfall. Let's see the bottom of it. Oh, that's a nice waterfall.
As Drake finds a heart on the floor in 2. I've still got to find the ladder, having already picked up the Triforce. Hopefully he sticks around in here long enough to do so.
Okay, Violina has found some spots she has yet to bomb and is going to check those out. I suspect she's probably looking for level 4. I mean, logically, that's going to be the next easiest level to dig out. But I don't know that we've seen it yet. You know, this is a nice spot to screen scroll, but she does have the ladder too and doesn't need to.
I think she's going to favor the center part of the map for a little bit. I don't think she's made it to Vanilla 1. Yep.
All right, just a mid secret there. Nothing too fancy.
Drake, meanwhile, getting manhandled by the manhandler. Oh, and he is going to jump out of 2. Oh, no. Up. Oh no, he's leaving the ladder behind.
You know, sometimes when you haven't collected enough hearts or weapons, you gotta just, you know, abandon an area for the time being. Pick up some more heart containers elsewhere.
Level 7 at Candle Row. She's gonna hop right on in. No reason not to at this point. She's got plenty of hearts, nice sword, but those pancakes foretell something ominous coming in the near future. We have found a Wizrobe dungeon.
So if you're new to the randomizer, if you're in the audience thinking of getting into this, either pick up Z Helper or Z Tracker. They both have all these maps with all the burn spots, bomb spots, etc., and they'll help you get started on this quite a lot.
Violina finds a staircase, clears out these guys, and says, "Give me something good." There's a compass and a transport. Now, as much as many of us are not fans of level 7, is she gonna, I was gonna say, try and make a beeline for the Triforce and maybe use her recorder to come back here later if she needs to dig for items. But that old man blocks the straight path north. She tries to bomb, it doesn't bomb, and she says, "Okay, maybe I will take this transport, thank you." And it's gonna get her right next door to Triforce with a bunch of Wizrobes there to greet her in the face. And oh, a dig dogger that she will make quick work of with her recorder. And
This
she
means
drops-
that recorder really is required.
as these diglets, dig doggerlets, whatever we call the baby dig doggers. Oh!
And
She was
those
locked
who
inside, could not run out to clear out the other two.
exactly, yeah, those of you who haven't played this before, you can kill one of the three, leave the room, and the other two will automatically die. But
And she
not
says,
an option there.
"I'll save that mess for later."
Chat has many names for them, but unfortunately, chat, you don't have the microphone. You don't get to choose that. That's up to Nick to say right now.
Oh, thank you.
All right, now we are at Death Armos, so named because a lot of people die getting this Armos.
See, I love calling it a much friendlier name. It's just the Lake Armos. If you call it the Death Armos, you're gonna get death. Although that was almost death with those Lionels. Violina makes a fortunate escape from there.
Isn't the Lake Armos that movie with Ryan Gosling or something?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I never actually saw it.
Violina fills up those 9 big hearts of hers so she can keep going. Good call there. Meanwhile, Drake has 3 bombs. Heads toward the coast.
All right, these hints. Violina's thinking, is it worth the money to buy these hints? One of them could tell me where the bow is. One could tell me where the silvers are.
It was about $85 to get them all. She says, "I will note that and maybe come back later." I would absolutely check those hints at this point because they could point to the bow, they could point to the silvers, and be the difference between digging 6, 7, and so forth, or not, or 8, of course.
Yeah, that probably is the right call. All right, just another shop in the graveyard. Probably doesn't get much foot traffic.
Drake runs into level 1, finds a locked door, tries to use the sortie key, does not work.
This is a case where the pirouette should have worked.
But he did not re-enter.
All right, looks like we're about to start seeing some serious bombing on Death Mountain. Let's hope it does not cause an avalanche.
And Violina's going to be able to do the full clear, including this big secret under a push block. Takes
So
her all the way.
unfortunately, that means she lost, basically wasted 50 of the rupees out of that big secret, but it got her to 255.
Sure too. And she is going to head in an easterly direction and south. All right, where's she heading now? To the Blue Ring shop. Almost up an A's out of it without completing her transaction. I admire her trying to get away without paying, but that was almost getting away without purchasing.
I mean, shoplifting, you got to do it at just the right moment, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, she has been holding her own in combat so far. So with that blue ring, she's going to be able to put up twice the fight, which she's definitely going to need, as we're seeing our Wizrobe sets might be rolling into our larger, later dungeons. As she picks up a 10th heart and is now Mags eligible, potentially, as Mags could be anywhere between 10 and 14 hearts.
And she is back to exploring Death Mountain.
And sure enough, she's going to find Mags and walk over it a couple times to be sure, but it is not going to get picked up at 10 hearts.
Yeah, it was pretty unlikely, but worth a shot, of course.
Level 6.
Alright, she could pirouette that door, but does not need to with the any key.
Another Dark Nut dungeon. She's going to save that room for later. Could be a staircase, it could be an item, could be a number of things. But this room is much more friendly.
Friendly, but that Keese was pretty evasive, though.
All the hearts and swords in the world won't help you when the Keese just decides to do his own thing. Violina making very good use of that ladder to stay safe and make quick work of these Dark Nuts. In the NSU room.
And we have a compass. And that Triforce is not far away.
And the question is she going to stick around to look for items? Because eventually you're going to have to start digging these larger dungeons if the smaller ones are just turning up hearts and other decorative items.
Oh, it's a lot of rooms.
Yeah, this is a fairly sizable 6 as she gets locked into the other weird moat room with a dig dogger. She's going to go ahead and take it down real quick. Uses the boomerang to stun the diglet. Very smart.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that actually netted her any items, but you never know until you kill it. Well, actually, you might. There might be some rooms that never drop.
Chat saying that H moat room only drops in second quest 6. We have all sorts of charts that tell us all sorts of things about what rooms do or do not drop in each quest. It's an open tab I've had open for months, and I just haven't gotten around to reading it. Because I would rather play Z1R than do homework.
Yeah, what I found with those kind of charts too is everybody's got a different way that works for them, something that they can read in the middle of a race.
More blue dark nuts, but some water safety strats are going to allow Violina to pick them off fairly easily and quickly, too. And she throws in a couple of bombs for good measure, picks up a fairy, and decides to get a little bit more aggressive with them, pops in and out of the water.
Yeah, with her current item set, this is not really a difficult dungeon. It's time-consuming, but not difficult.
Yeah, I'd much rather stay and dig this 6 than go back to the 7 in its whiz robes, that's for sure.
And there's a bomb upgrade she can't afford at the moment.
Nope, it was the blue ring that set her bank account back, but in the long run, probably still a better purchase. Another heart on the floor. Violina probably screaming silently inside, saying, "Are there even a bow and silver in this seed?" And my response to that, yes, and they're probably deep in 8.
Now maybe we've just got, 4 items in 9 or something like that. Is that possible?
Absolutely. Only if I'm playing, though.
And a transport staircase, not what we were looking for. At least now that she's picked up a floor item and she knows the room the Triforce is in, all she has to look for is push blocks. Of course, it's possible that it's in the Triforce room, because you could have the Triforce on the floor and an open staircase for an item. I know that because I made that mistake in a race a couple weeks ago. Ended up finishing very far behind everyone else because I had walked into a room, beelined it for the Triforce, not noticed there was a staircase, marked that room was complete, and walked through the whole rest of the world before I came back to it.
Violina clears this room, checks the block, no pushy, keeps on going.
Drake is working on burning some bushes, unfortunately missing the correct ones. Like, man, there's not many rooms left. She is making rapid progress.
Yeah, as big as this 6 is, she's almost gotten all of it. Makes a smart bomb into the room south of the Triforce room, but it is not going to be a straight shot to the Triforce from this room, as the old man says, "Please don't call me again." Now this has got to be the item.
I would think so, yeah.
No.
We're wrong. We're both wrong.
Now, did she leave behind some rooms when she took the transport?
Because I don't think she... Yeah, I don't know.
I think she might be backtracking a little bit in that direction.
Well, with this easy enemy set, it's not going to cost her that much time.
As chat points out, there was that room right next to start with all those blue dark nuts in the zigzag room. How much you want to bet it's going to be that one?
And it's going to be a wooden boomerang, right?
Or, I don't know, it could be another heart at this point. I feel like there's only so many more hearts that can be here as opposed to level 9.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, though. It's probably going to be that, I think I should say Lorgan in chat is right. I think it's going to be that blue darknet room.
But with every heart she finds and everything she finds that isn't a bow or silvers, it increases the chances that our silvers could have rolled into level 9. I don't know about you, but that is personally one of my least favorite occurrences in Z1R is when silvers do what silvers are supposed to do and be in level 9.
Well, the times where I make the bet that they ended up in 9 and they're there, I'm very happy, but any other time, no, I am not happy.
And to clarify, the bow cannot be in 9. There is a flag called Allow Important Items in 9. Important being a little bit of a misnomer, but in this case, important refers to items as Violina decides to take the Triforce and skedaddle.
All right, I'm guessing she's just using that as a heal, and we'll go right back in and use her sword beams and take down the... Okay, I was wrong.
Oh, she's going to say, I have the Triforce. I can record her back here if I need to. I still have to find 4. And I have an
Oh, that's
extra
a
heart.
smart play.
I think I'm going to pick this up and make much quicker work of any other blue dark nuts or whiz robes I happen to find. That's a very smart play to check that one more time. Meanwhile, Drake, digging into level 7, finds the transport there. It's going to take him right next to the Triforce, full of whiz robes in that room. He's going to bail out to the left. And here's a room we did not see before. He's pushing. Does he know which one to push?
Unfortunately for Drake, I don't think he's armed well enough to fight these wizrobes at this point.
No, those whiz robes are going to say, you have half a heart. Well... Oh, alright, he manages to make it down here. Unfortunately, he's going to find a dig dogger in a way, and he has no whistle to beat it with. He is locked inside, and this is going to be the end of this journey into level 7 for Drake.
You see, Violina was 2 rupees short of being able to buy a potion. Now 1 rupee short. Let's see, will she go back now? No, she's not going back to 7 right now. She still's not found level 4, huh?
No, and the longer we go, the more I'm starting to think it might be under one of our special spots. She has the recorder. I don't think she's blown Recorder Lake, though. One raft spot is an any road. And I think you said as soon as she found it, is the game going to troll her and make the other raft spot a level? Maybe that happened.
Okay, it looks like we got about maybe 4 spots left on Death Mountain here, so it could be one of those. Unfortunately, she is out of bombs, is going to need to refill on those in order to come back and finish the bomb spots here on Death Mountain.
She whips out a recorder and she's heading somewhere else. Let's see where she decides to go. She's heading to the northeast corner. Level 8 is not far from here.
Yeah, it's a pretty good play. We got 3 items there. She needs at least 2 items, so I could see doing that, yeah. Welcome Raiders from Centroid. We're here in the Rookie Rumble 2 tournament. This is a group stage match here between Violina and SpaceDrake.
Level 8, the pancakes, foretelling another Wizrobe dungeon. That's always rough when 7 and 8 have Wizrobes.
And Violina is going to have to deal with these wizrobes, but she has the tools. She's got the magic sword, she's got 12 hearts, she's got a white ring, sorry, a blue ring. Should be, I'm not going to say a cakewalk, but certainly not too difficult. Yes, chat, a pancake walk would be an appropriate term, yes. we got what could be our item, but it's probably just a transport staircase.
Ooh, a wand. Definitely a nice backup item. Great to use with the magical sword to do. You can push B and A at the same time. You can whip out 6 points of damage at once.
And if you're in a room with the bubbles, you can, if you get bubbled, you can still use your wand. So it's very helpful in those situations as well.
All that said, I'm sure Violina's saying, that's nice, but where my bow, where my silvers?
And she's covered quite a few dungeons. Still, yeah, I mean, she's got to be wondering. I think she just picked up that item, right? In this room? As she walked in?
Was that a...
I thought it was just rupees or a bomb or something. My brain immediately wiped it out and didn't commit it to memory.
Chat says, yes, that was a floor rupee. Not silvers, although if silvers are in here, they're going to blend in with the color of the dungeon. So if you walk into a room with some traps in the corners, you're going to want to give them a little bit of a look-see. Say, is there a set of silver arrows hiding under those traps?
Right, Violina takes down a rupee boss, gets some bombs for her trouble. Bombs she will need if she wants to go back up to Death Mountain. Keep looking for level 4.
We've been seeing a lot of dungeons today where the maps have not been very forward present. Violina found about a quarter of the room so far in 8. Still no sign of a map, so she's having to guess. She might be leaving a room or two behind in her search.
Yeah, those maps, the real benefit, I think, is when you have to start resorting to bombing walls, because then you know which ones you can immediately not waste your bombs on. This could be a transport or one of our items here. Not quite as perfect locationing of the bomb as it was for that previous Manhandla, but this time didn't need to be.
Indeed, it is a transport. Violina says, no thanks, I will walk the long way. And probably a good call, because you never know where that's going to take you. You might jump away from the very next room that has your silvers or bow and not find them until much later. I might have personal experience with that in a race in this tournament.
I mean, it's a hard gamble sometimes. You never know. It's a gamble, right? I mean, it's an educated gamble, but it's still a gamble. There was our friend Aquamentus. Didn't see him very long.
And, oh, it does have a bomb hole to let her out. But I think she's been here before.
Yeah, it looks like, I think there was a way up from the far left side of the map, if I saw that right.
I believe you are correct. So that's why she's going to hop back into that transport. Return from whence she came.
Yeah, as chat said, I was expecting that to be one of those rooms that was completely cut off from every other room. There seems to be so many of those, at least in level 9. Oh, there's our map.
Oh, how about that? It's a pretty gnarly looking 8. She's going to clear out this one little tendril on the left side and then head up to the north and east, hopefully, where the Triforce is blinking away. And it's probably where she's going to find a couple more items. As she's just short of a bomb upgrade. but maybe she'll get some bombs off these guys.
Unfortunately, no.
Well, she's got 3, but something tells me she might need more than that for that huge chunk of 8 she's still got to explore. Now, she does have mags, is able to take out the Vires in one hit, which could get her bombs, and does. Unfortunately, she also got taken out in one hit. Goes back to start, and looks at her map, says, how am I getting up there?
Yeah, now that she's got the map, she's got a much better idea of where she needs to go.
Drake has popped into level 6. This is that room that Violina left behind earlier, but does not manage to clear it.
Looks like she's found the way up. As we talked about earlier, bubbles in the room, taking away use of her sword for a few seconds, but the wand is not affected.
Unfortunately, despite the bubbles and the Beamoses, she does not have any Wizrobes in here who would be immune from the wand and its staff. And so far, this Wizrobe dungeon hasn't been too unfriendly. Now, there's still a good dozen or so rooms up here in the northeast corner where they might be hiding out and waiting.
And as we're approaching, I mean, we're over the hour mark now. I suspect, nerves are starting to show up. Wondering if your opponent is about to hit done. But, so I could see that. But I think Violina's handling this fine.
Oh, absolutely. She's remaining fairly calm under pressure, even though the 2 big items she needs to take on Ganon are still hiding out there somewhere. Very well hidden today, I'll say, because she's almost finished 8 here. Only about 10 or so rooms she has not seen, but she's also back down to half a heart. Gotta watch out, as unfortunately another Vire hops on her head. Is going to make her do it again.
And meanwhile, Drake has picked up Triforce from level 6.
I don't think he found the floor heart in 6, so he's going to look further for items. There's still another item that Violina did not find in here either, that I'm guessing is probably in that blue Darknet room right next to start. Good point from chat. At this point, if you're Violina and you've got 86 rupees, maybe you start thinking about buying hints. Violina pulls off one of my absolute favorite tricks, the hop into a fairy fountain and then continue and get the full fill effect even when you go back to start.
And we're back at level, okay. Well, we were back at level 6. Now we're back to, I think, explore more of Death Mountain. Look for that level 4.
But first, a much needed refreshing beverage.
Oh, she missed the bomb spot, off by 1 there.
Unfortunately,
Only 2.
In spending that money, Violina is no longer in a good range to buy those hints.
Drake just picked up a very lucky clock, which will let him finish off this room without taking any more damage from these Dark Nuts.
Meanwhile, Violina's up in this far northwest corner, only 3 places left to bomb. And then she's going to have to start making some hard choices. Does she consider the other raft spot? Does she blow Recorder Lake? Does she,
She already blew Recorder Lake.
Oh, she did blow Recorder Lake. All right.
Yeah. So that there's... if it's not up here, digging for...
Oh, it
never
is.
mind.
All right. As she runs in here, she's saying, please, 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 give me a bow and silvers.
Have we seen 9? Actually, I'm not sure. Opno, I think you were tracking the locations. Have you seen 9? Opno says we need the raft to get to level 9.
Oh my goodness. All right, so make that 3 items that Violina is looking out for. As level 4 turns out to be another Wizrobe dungeon. This one with a few more Wizrobes in the way than 8 had.
Well, luckily for her, she's got the tools to deal with it.
And a couple of lucky bomb drops in that room.
And the Dig Dogger, it didn't look like it was hiding anything.
Yep, she takes it down with the Boomerang. Boomerang paying lots of dividends today, as she's used it a couple times to stun Diglets.
Yeah, it is pretty handy that they are vulnerable to it.
Oh
my god!
Finally! And the best part is, with the silvers here, that means Violina knows the bow is somewhere in one of those dungeons she has left behind, because it cannot roll into 9. If I'm her, I'm very happy that I found the silvers first, then the bow, because that means I don't have to go into 9 with an item missing. But that does mean she still needs to find the bow somewhere in one of the places she's left unfinished. And a raft.
And that's where those hints really could have come in handy. Or they could have been all jokes. We don't know. The bow could be in 4 as well, yeah. But we also need to find the raft, so... basically it means not everything we need is in 4. It's got to be 4 plus another level. Good point from chat. All she needs to do is look for staircases here in level 4. And of course, since she has the NEK, regular keys are just showing up everywhere.
I think I've counted at least 20 since she picked up the any key. Oh, there's the Triforce, of course, but she's got more work to do in this 4. This is not going to be the other item, but she's going to have to clear it anyway, just to get back out. Still no map to 4. These maps being very elusive today. She says, I'm going to take this Triforce because I think my remaining rooms are probably back near the entrance.
no easy maps, and also the book apparently is hiding somewhere as well. I mean, we've cleared a lot of items and still not found that. And unfortunately, Drake has become soft locked in this room again. And what Drake needs to do is start an up and A on the second controller. If he's not aware of that, that could be a problem. So Violina has now resorted to bombing every wall she can, because without the map, she doesn't know which direction this level sprawls in. Right, so now she is having to work through these Wizrobe rooms that nobody wanted to fight, but man, all these bubbles taking away your sword when your sword's the only thing that can attack the Wizrobes, that is not fun.
Yeah, and there's something about this flag set too that puts bubbles with Wizrobes with a alarming frequency. Just an extra bit of challenge for our rookies here. Finally, the map makes itself available. That will very quickly tell Violina where she needs to go for a couple more rooms.
I'm going to call this the sine wave level. Or wait, or is it a water slide? I don't know. SpaceDrake is, I believe, I believe working on remapping some keys to do the up and A.
I mean, there is another way out of that room. It's to wave frantically at the guys there and say, "Hit me with your boomerang." But he does up and A out of there.
Looks like you got the up and A working, yeah.
Yep. Unfortunately, Violina takes a death. I'm just going to set her back for a minute or so. She does not have too much more of this 4.
But more free bombs, which is helpful since bombing walls is what we're going to see.
Violina showing off pretty much every clip and glitch and scroll in Z1R in the course of this single seed. She has definitely been practicing. She has got all those glitches working to her advantage. It's going to be a huge help in a lot of these seeds. Drake says, I'm going to pick up arrows, and hopefully the bow makes itself available to me. Just a red candle in 4. Game, what are you doing to our poor runners today?
So, wow. I guess, wow. Well, we definitely need to get back to that room we've been all talking about with the blue dark nuts, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for that room. I think Violina's going to plow through it with a vengeance when she finds it.
Yeah, with mags, that should not be a problem. Oh no! I guess she does not want to go back to that room, so she is heading to a different dungeon.
There's still 2 items in 8, I believe, so the math says go do 8. And she only had about 10 rooms left.
I think I might, fill up at a fairy fountain and then whistle over there. But oh, she doesn't have the Triforce, so never mind.
I guess she had not checked this Vanilla 5 yet.
And she's probably getting to the point where she's going, wait a second, how have I not found level 9?
It is unfortunately in that raft spot that is very easy to forget when you've done everything else. It loves to just sit out there in the ocean, and it's kind of the other forgotten spot, but usually you can forget about it. As Drake finds 5 hearts nowhere near enough for Mags, but he's definitely going to keep his eye out on that for later. Ooh, the Lionels rough up Violina. Yep, I think she is going to take that fill and march herself back to level 8. Please. I think she's checking her map to see if there's a faster way to get there, or maybe she's still contemplating where level 9 could be, but I mean, don't worry about 9 so much right now, because you still have a couple things you need to get. Oh, she's heading into 7. Is she? Is she? Yes.
All right, with almost full health, magic sword should be pretty easy. Although we still don't have the map, of course. And this wand is a lot of fun when you have to deal with these gels. You don't have to chase them around with your sword. Oh, I thought she had picked this up last time she was here. I guess I was wrong. Oh, she died of the dig dogger. I forgot about that. Thank you, chat. Oh man, it's just room after room of blue whiz robes.
They have been lying in wait, and now is their time.
I think what they did is they all just said, hey, oh, Gleok, look. Well, she already has that. Never mind. That's not helpful now.
Wow, old man. Now, Drake was up here as well, but I don't think he necessarily hopped into that old man room, because he went to the left before getting soft locked in here. Violina says, I'll be back for that. I think I need to clear this room to get my item.
Or this one, or both. No, I do not remember. Has she picked up either item from 7 at this point? Opno, do you remember?
Hey,
Oh,
at
there's a
least there's
map. That helps.
Oh, no wonder 7 has been... It's such a weird shape.
You know what this is? I'm going to call this the Top Gun level because that is Maverick buzzing the tower.
100%. As we realized, nope, there's actually a couple more rooms on the other side of this one. Chat calling this a map required level. I think I'm kind of with you because I would have never guessed to go bomb over there. I would have said absolutely 7 ended at that room, but we got 2 more here. Is one of them going to have an item?
I'd much rather kill these Vires than kill blue wizards, that's for sure. Did something just pick up? I thought I heard something. Maybe it was a ski?
Don't know. I don't think that was an item pickup.
Probably not, yeah. 4 wizrobes left. Ah.
A whole bunch of rooms over here still.
More keys that we don't need. This could be the item for sure, yeah. Every time I say for sure, it's not, right?
I think we're out of transports, even with the segment, so yep. And hey, look at that guy. It's a bow.
Finally, now we just gotta find the raft.
Hopefully, Violina recognizes that that is where level 9 is going to be tonight.
He probably is, yeah, by process of elimination, figured that out. And this Dig Dogger says, I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me.
And the other item is just another floor heart.
Alright, so it's either in 8 or that room in 6 that we have discussed endlessly.
Either way, it's only about a dozen rooms left that Violina needs to explore before she has what she needs to go to level 9.
Alright, chat, do you think she's going to 6 or 8? Five? Well, that might have just been a miss whistle, maybe.
She is going to 8.
And with 2 items left, if I recall, that's logically the place to go. She also needs the Triforce anyway.
And I think all the rooms she has left are in that northeastern, north central area of the map, which Had a bit of a screwy path to get to.
Yeah, although now she's got that path open, so not a big deal anymore. Well, there's a room she didn't go into yet. Oh, and our friends, they're back. Meanwhile, Drake has caused a fairy explosion. All right, so now we're down to the tedious task of checking every room pretty much in this level 8.
Despite there only being a few matches so far in the tournament, these deep digs of level 8 have happened more than one occasion. It seems the items love to hide themselves in the largest dungeon that isn't level 9. Although it's usually the Bower Silvers. Today it's just a raft, but it's a raft we are going to need.
Yeah, it's trying to think when we last saw like a locked level 9 like that. Usually it's been throwing locked early levels at the ones I've been in. The princess, we don't know of how good she is because we're not even close to finding the princess. For all we know, we'll get to level 9 and that might be the easy part.
And I'm going to say a 5-room level 9. Or 50.
You're right. Maybe she did hide the raft. That's possible. Did she hide the raft under a Gleeok? That's the question. No, she did not.
Like it. Nope.
You know, when you get to the point of these seeds, you start to think, did I make a mistake? Did I mistrack something? But, you know, in this case, no. Violina's not mistracked anything. It's just deeply hidden item. Wow, there's not many rooms left.
And of course, a half-dozen blue whiz robes greet Violina in the Triforce room. She's going to say, "It is potion time."
And Lorgan in chat had speculated this could have been a super room, having both the item and the Triforce, but unfortunately does not seem to be the case this time.
It looked like Violina was doing a good job of clearing this upper part of the dungeon, but I'm wondering if she left a room behind somewhere.
Yeah, I do not know if she tracks, which dungeons she tracks. Some people track only level 9, some people track more than that, so I do not know if she was actually using a tracker for level 8. Okay, Lorgan believes she's is tracking level 8. And if that's the case, she's, I'm sure, just probably said, you know what, Blue Israel room, I'm just going to get this out of the way, and then I will get full health again, and I can continue my search with that.
A very smart call.
And it could just be that we've been walking by the room, but we've been unable to get into it because you have to bomb from a specific direction. Level 3 up? No, I don't remember. That was so long ago.
I think it was a heart, but she declined to pick it up. She had a fair number at that point already and made the decision not to grab it.
Oh, this could be something.
It pushes. It's a wrap.
Nice.
All right, that is going to set the timer on the rest of this seed for Violina, as she has everything she needs to get into level 9. And that wrap spot is not too far.
She might want another potion, but probably not. SpaceDrake has been having some, yeah, he's a new player and just does not have as much experience. And where is Violina going?
Chat's speculating that one room in level 6 that we ignored might have been the Red Ring. If it was very well defended.
Ah, she did, of course, buy another potion.
She's going to be very well equipped to handle whatever level 9 decides to throw at her. Are we going to see another Wizrobe dungeon, or is it going to roll in a friendlier direction?
Yeah, she knows from her map clearly where it is, and she's just getting everything ready, you know. Getting the potion, getting a health refill, and after that she's going to head straight there. And here we go.
At 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 32 seconds into the seed, we are entering level 9. Potato, would you like to tell the folks at home what we are looking for in this level 9?
We are looking for a roar and a door. So if we hear the roar of Ganon, that means he is one square up, down, left, to right away from us. And therefore, oh my god, he's right there. There's our Ganon.
5 room, let's do it, let's do it.
And after we defeat Ganon, then we're trying to find the door to Zelda. And
we
the
have
door
2 shutter doors right there, one of which could be Zelda. Usually in 9, if you have multiple shutter doors in a single room, that means Zelda is not behind either of them. This room with Ganon is the singular exception, as Violina makes very quick work of that Ganon.
All right, now I would have gone right back into Ganon's room to try the other shutter door real quick, just to make sure. But yeah, it's we're just gonna have to look for that shutter door that opens immediately as we walk into a room. And sometimes it puts that 2 rooms away from Ganon, sometimes it puts her the entire level, other side of the level from Ganon.
And 3 or 4 staircases away.
Yeah, sometimes the route is unbombable. You got to take staircase 1 to staircase 2, and it's just a nightmare.
It looked like she was going to take a staircase for a second, but maybe she is going to go back and check that other shutter door.
And this looks like another possible staircase. Often we will run into an old man who will tell, it's not guaranteed, but often we will run into one that will tell us, you know, the kidnapped awaits in, and it'll say northwest, southeast, etc. So we'll at least know a quadrant to look in.
Of course, with mixed hints, that may or may not happen tonight.
We will see. Yeah, it's nice seeing those locked doors or an open door because, you know, well, that's not her.
Now, it is very easy when you're in a room with multiple door options and a staircase, a transport staircase, to get a little confused or not really be sure what direction you want to head in when you have so many options. And in this case, Violina's saving those staircases for later, which oftentimes can be a good call. Explore as much as you can with just doors, and then start taking staircases.
And at this stage in the game, an hour, 45 minutes in, this is, you know, when you're really feeling the nerves. You're going, oh my God, my opponent is probably right about to hit done. I got to speed this up. And then you start rushing. It would be nice to find a book in one of these staircases.
Wouldn't it? Yeah. Book or map first.
And the thing with these turnstile rooms is that you are not required to block clip through them, but sometimes block clipping through them can lead to a substantial shortcut.
Violina finally says, you know, those staircases are looking better and better. Let's take one. And it shoots her over to the southwest corner here.
And it looks like Violina has explored a rocket ship from that picture there.
Still a good 2/3 of level 9 on the center and east side here.
Oh my God, all these all these staircases are just bouncing her right back and forth. Won't let her escape the rocket ship.
Maybe at that point, that's when you start bombing every east wall you can find, trying to break out of that corner. Then again, Zelda could be tucked away in one room in this eastern side, and she might stay hidden till later if she does.
Yeah, because unfortunately she does not roar, so we can only find by walking directly to a room that has an entry.
Yeah.
Drake has now picked up a key that should allow him to progress in some of those dungeons. Those bubbles not giving Violina an easy time.
Nor is this Patra. He was the other end of a staircase, so she does not need to clear him, but still needs to get by him to get into this room, which is full of dark nuts. She's down to 1 heart. She's going to have to be a little careful here.
Oh boy, yeah, I think it's time to use that potion. Okay, I think it's too late to use the potion now. These patras are everywhere you want to be.
A shutter door, but it does not open. Just gonna make quick work of these bunnies. Continue on through it. Yes.
Now the good news is we know you can never bomb into Zelda's room, so we don't directly need to worry about bombing. Of course, we might need to bomb into the room that is the room that gets you to Zelda's room. But in the case of that one room that was in her map, since you've seen 3 sides of it and the other side is off the map, we know that that cannot possibly be Zelda's room.
Now, if I'm Violina, I've already finished off Ganon, and I have a full set of potions in my pocket. Yep, I was going to say, I start thinking about popping one so I can stay alive a little longer in these Dark Nut rooms.
I agree. Good choice.
Clears it, finds another transport, marks it for later, continues on foot. Meanwhile, Drake back in level 5. If he digs a little harder, he's going to find his silvers.
He's found the soft lock room again, but this time he's ready to handle it.
And here she is. Get your GGs in chat for violina23 with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour 50 minute 44 seconds. And Drake's gonna immediately say, I've had enough of this.
All right, so Violina will be in here shortly to talk about her victory with us. All right, we're working on getting them in the room now. And welcome, Violina. Congratulations.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. That was something.
That was something else, actually. That was some excellent play that you had there on a very tough seed that decided to throw all sorts of twists and turns at you. Tell us what was going through your head as you were progressing through the game tonight.
A lot of it was, dear God, I wish I was better at combat. And I know that will come with time, but I still stink. And I know there was in that, and there was a bunch of deaths where I was just like, hey, and everybody saw that too. Go ahead.
You had chat fooled then because everyone thought you were doing a fantastic job, myself included, with your combat. Early on, you were making very good progress getting through dungeons. And yeah, no, I think you are better at this combat than you might think you are, as we have Drake joining us in here as well. GG's, Drake.
You can call that GG of a sort, I suppose.
GG's to you.
Well, Drake, we got a few tips and tricks we can teach you before your next match, but you certainly gave it your all. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
Well, I should have prepared a little better for the tournament in general, but at least I got to show off my variation of the tuning net, right?
You did.
Which I am. I'm rather proud of that, at least. But yeah, I have not studied the overworld map quite as I should have, and I also have the feeling that the ladder was kind of the key to this particular seed, since like any key would have blown every single single one of the dungeons wide open.
You know, it's funny.
Yeah, I got it. I got it relatively early, and as soon as I did, I pretty much saved and world wrapped as best as I could world wrap. I died world wrapping. Like, that was kind of funny too. But that was a huge deal because there were so many key doors.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you noticed, it was rough getting keys early on, but as soon as you got that any key and popped open a couple of doors with it, there were keys all over the place. I think you passed about 25 keys through the rest of the seed.
Yeah. For sure. When I I think I had a little bit of seed bleed because I was watching one of the earlier tournaments, and I thought that I saw a hint that said level 9 was on Death Mountain, and then I remembered that it did say Coast. So at least that led me to realize what I was missing, what was my go item, which was, I don't know if you got that far, SpaceDrake, but it was the raft to get to 9.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can blame Potato for that, because I think about 5 or 10 minutes into this, as soon as you took the any road that led you to the other raft spot, he said, well, it could be the seed decides to put level 9 or someone level on that other raft spot. And sure enough,
I sure did
Uh,
say that. It's on tape.
Where was the ladder, out of curiosity?
It was
was-
at level
I-
2.
Yeah, you were pretty close to it, but too rusty.
It was the room with the manhandler.
It was the manhandle that I almost killed like 3 times.
Yep.
I knew there had to be something there, but I was like, no, it's probably just a single key or something. The odds of it blowing the seat open are incredibly low. I should just go looking around for other stuff. And yeah, that led to my hour-and-a-half-long odyssey.
It was
So
definitely some tough
Violina,
combat.
chat wants you to talk about the thing that made the crowd go wild early on. Your call on picking up the candle instead of the wood sword. Could you tell us more about that?
I figured I could always retry if it didn't work. And it wasn't that far from start. So I figured I sat there for about 2 seconds. I said, you know what? Let's go for it. And because I knew where that white sword was. So I just said, all right, let's give it a shot. I can always retry.
And that was a brilliant move. It got you going through the overworld very quickly.
I was pretty happy. I was pretty excited about that because it could have been really, really awesome or really, really sad. And I'm glad it went in the direction of awesome.
Well, it got you like a lot of fans in chat. If you go back and watch, you've got a whole cheering section just from that move alone.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. I'm very new to this and I was very nervous to sign up for the tournament. So I'm happy that I am at very least providing entertainment, even if this is the pinnacle of my tournament.
Well, I think the audience thinks this is not the pinnacle of your tournament. You showed a lot of impressive skills, and I think people now are expecting quite a lot out of you.
Ouch. That's a little scary, but yay.
So let's see. So we talked about that. We talked about any other. I think we got the audience questions out of the way.
Now, what was going through your head as you were making your way through these dungeons and finding heart after heart after heart, but not so much in the way of necessary items or even some of the more useful items? That red ring kept itself hidden. I think between us and chat, we've decided the red ring is probably in that blue dark nut diagonal room in 6.
Yeah, I had a 6. I had an opening for 6, and I wasn't sure. There was a room I left behind in 3. I think at the time it was key blocked, possibly, and either I just died too many times and I just said, you know what, I need to take a break from it. So there was a voice in the back of my head that was saying, if it's in that room. So I was happy that I got the silvers actually before bow because I knew I had to dig. And I knew I had to find the bow somewhere. But, and then the fact that I came and I left 8 so many times because I would just try and then just hit a point where I was like, I'm just not, this just is not working for me. And, again, the combat being one of the weaknesses, having 7 and 8 both were, I think, the Wizrobe dungeons, and that was, boy.
Yes. I had fun in one of those Wizrobe rooms. I'm sure the commentators remember me stepping up the stairwell and immediately eating a Wizrobe blast to the face, which sent me right back to the start of the dungeon.
Yep,
That might have happened to me too.
they roughed you both up, and
I'm pretty sure I did the same thing the first time I went to that room.
Up to that point in the seed, the enemy sets had been fairly friendly, and that's when we realized, no, the Wizrobes are hiding out in the high-numbered dungeons, and that just means more and more rooms of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it definitely kept things interesting. I was grateful for that white sword, that's all I'll say. And I also got mags, which also made it a lot easier to go back to those dungeons later.
Yeah, right when you picked up mags, I was expecting you were going to immediately go back to 6 and take out that dark nut room. But
Yeah. I don't even remember what my brain was thinking at that point.
well, I think at that point you were thinking, I think you thought you were done with that room. You gave up on it. Then you got the mags, but you didn't reconsider it then. But
Yeah, I think I just figured it was going to be really difficult for me to finish that room, and I'll try. I would go back to it if I had to. I think that was my thought process. And then there was one of the dungeons where I didn't have the map. And I was bombing around, and I had mismarked that the tea room had a door to the right, and that was where the item was. And I feel like it was 5, and it wound up being a heart or something. And I don't remember which one. It was a really weirdly shaped one. No, it was 6. It was 7.
Yeah, you did very good with dungeon navigation, despite the maps being very deep in most of our dungeons tonight. You had to go through them blind, and it was rough going for you, but you managed to find what you needed to find.
I believe
it's so funny because I thought
a term for that. The chat is now calling those map-required dungeons.
it blows my mind because I thought I was just fumbling around. So I'm glad it looked like I knew what I was doing.
I definitely didn't know what I was doing, and I'm sure chat had a lot of fun with that as well.
Well, you've got us
Hi,
fooled, and at the same time, I think your other group mates are going to look back at tonight's race and say, wait a second, we're going to have to bring our A game when we go up against Violina and our seeds against her, so...
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate that. I feel like I can go very hot and cold with this game, but, it's been a lot of fun. This is a game I grew up with. I know I'm dating myself, but I was one of those people who had it on NES, and my friend and I would play and consider calling Nintendo Power because we couldn't figure out how to get through the second quest and all that fun stuff. So,
Same.
taking this game and playing it fresh every time has been a real treat for me.
Hey, you should still try and call up that phone number if you're ever stuck in one of these seeds. I'm sure they'll help you right out.
Absolutely. It'll probably be Fred telling a joke or something, a dad joke on the line.
Oh god, I want this to be a real thing now. Can we make that happen? Fred, please?
I actually think Nintendo still owns that telephone number, even if it's not like in use anymore.
I would not put it past them to find another way to make money.
Well, I think it's probably about time we should start wrapping up this stream. Do you have any final questions for the runners, Nick?
No, I just want to say GG's to you both. That was both your first matches, I believe. So you've got 2 more coming up. Do you have any in the next couple days we want to keep an eye out on our schedules?
I think my match I'm playing. He's from. Why am I blanking on his name? He's the one from Japan.
Oh, Y. Collins. Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry, I couldn't get my Discord into my mind. My brain just went blank there. Yeah, so I believe we're playing Thursday morning Eastern time. So my husband will be at work, and my 10-year-old daughter will probably be watching me and asking me what the heck I'm doing the whole time. But she's excited that I'm attempting to do this sort of tournament. I think she thinks it's pretty neat, and it's amazing how much she's picked up on how the game works just from watching me play. So maybe she'll be a runner down the line, but we'll see what this community becomes in 5 to 10 years. You never know.
I do like me some breakfast in Zelda. Drake, do you have any more matches scheduled yet?
I do have one scheduled for Saturday evening U.S. time, but
all right.
Yeah.
Well, definitely keep an eye out for those matches. We're going to sign off finally tonight. GG's to you both. Potato, thank you so much for being my co-commentator. Our special thanks to OpnoPoint for doing some fantastic tracking tonight. Lots of things to track and kept us straight multiple times throughout this whole run.
And thank you to SpeedGaming for rebroadcasting this. And looking at the schedule for tomorrow, I see 5 different matches happening tomorrow evening. So if you're out there watching these games and enjoying them, come back tomorrow for a lot more. So with that, thank you everybody, and we will see you later. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.